you said I need to, so I was asking, do you want me to come talk to, or do I have to? Am I being detained?
Yes, sir. Just point. Yes, sir.
Okay, for suspicion of what crime?
You're under arrest for failing to signal lane change.
I'm under arrest for failing to signal a lane change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm under arrest!
On January 14, 2022, a First Amendment auditor known as Free Press NC, whom we'll refer to as Mr. Press, embarked on a mission to exercise his rights by filming public spaces, a common practice among auditors. Bars. His journey took him to Burlington, North Carolina, where he began his audit at City Hall. There, he filmed without issue and successfully filed a public records request. Feeling confident, Mr. Press moved on to the Burlington Police Department, aiming to film the police vehicles in their parking lot.
Tires are mostly in good shape. Can't tell entirely, but they're, generally speaking, they seem to be good tires. Hi!
What are you doing?
Just checking out my employees. What's up? What's your name and badge number?
Delgado.
Delgado, you have a badge number?
I don't.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm not gonna give that.
So what are you doing?
Just checking on the Burlington employees and seeing if you guys are doing a great job.
About
You're
looking
keeping,
through
yeah.
the cars?
Yeah, I want to make sure you're keeping the officers safe with like good tires and you're not leaving out passwords to NCIC. What's that?
You come speak with us.
You said I need to?
Yes, sir. You're actually trespassing unless you actually have something.
You want me to, or I need to? It's hard.
Do you have any business back here? This is only police personnel only.
Yeah, you said I need to, so I was asking, do you want me to come talk to, or do I have to? Am I being detained?
Yes, sir. Just point. Yes, sir.
Okay, for suspicion of what crime?
Okay, you're walking around taking pictures of police cars and so forth.
As Mr. Press began his work, he was approached by Officer Delgado, who inquired about his purpose. Mr. Press responded confidently, stating that he was simply checking on the condition of the police vehicles, ensuring that public employees were maintaining them properly. However, the encounter quickly took a turn when Sergeant Marsh entered the scene. The sergeant informed Mr. Press that he was trespassing and was being detained, a statement that would set the stage for a tense exchange of rights, laws, and interpretations.
You don't have any business here.
Is that illegal? Is that illegal?
It's only supposed to be police back here.
And your name and badge number?
I don't have a badge number. Sergeant Marsh.
Sergeant Marsh, okay. So you said I'm detained. And I said suspicion of what crime?
What are you doing back here?
Suspicion of what crime? What's your
I'm
RAS?
asking you a question. You need to leave, sir.
What crime have I committed?
You need to leave.
If you'd like to stand on the sidewalk and do
He
what
told
it
me
is
I
you're
have to
doing.
come here and I'm detained.
I
So
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
you said we need you to come here and you said I'm
I need to talk to
detained.
you. So I need to talk to you. If you want to go over there, take on the sidewalk, take pictures, you're more than welcome, but you can't be back here.
So the sign that says public entrance is not a public entrance?
If you have business here.
Yeah.
Do you have business here?
Am I required to answer that question?
Okay, sir. At this point, you're being asked if you want to go over and take pictures.
I know I'm being
you're all
asked
right.
because you don't want to infringe on my rights, which is why you've not ordered me to, but you still have me detained. Are you going to undetain me or am I still
You're
detained?
not detained.
Okay.
You're more than free, but you can
I can do what I want. Thanks. It's a public.
Sir, you can go on the sidewalk and take pictures.
You have to
can't
stay on
do
the
that here.
sidewalk.
Where's the sign that says it's authorized personnel only? There's actually a sign in here that says public parking right here.
North Carolina law specifically outlines the offense of first-degree trespassing, which occurs when a person enters or remains on another's property without authorization. However, this law requires the premises to be clearly secured or marked to demonstrate an intent to keep out intruders. In this case, Mr. Press was in an open parking lot marked by a sign that indicated public parking. This detail is crucial because it undermines the claim that Mr. Press was committing first-degree trespassing. Nonetheless, when Mr. Press refused to leave after being asked by Sergeant Marsh, the situation bordered on second-degree trespassing.
You tell me I'm detained in a public parking lot with no signs, that's bull crap. back off.
Well, sir, you need to understand.
I don't need to do crap. You detained me for
Sir, you
nothing.
need to leave the parking lot.
Give me your supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
Give me your supervisor, the LT. This is bullcrap.
I don't want to do it.
Notice I'm not talking to either of you guys this
yeah.
way. I'm not talking to either of you guys this way. I'm talking to him this way.
I understand.
You have no signs that say no trespassing, and it freaking says public entrance. You cannot detain me for videotaping.
I didn't
Why were
detain
you
you.
all in that car?
I wasn't in a car.
You
if
were
you
all
find
looking
if
at
you
it.
find
I
evidence
watched
of
you
me
looking
being
at
in a
the
car,
car.
then bring me in and Raz and detain me and we'll talk.
And that's why we started speaking with you because of that. Because
You can't detain me to figure out if I committed a crime. You're a freaking sergeant.
Yes, sir. We can.
No, you cannot.
The legal landscape surrounding Mr. Press's detention became murkier when Sergeant Marsh initially claimed that Mr. Press was detained due to suspicion of criminal activity. This suspicion was based solely on the act of filming, a behavior not inherently criminal. Under the Terry Doctrine, police officers can detain individuals if they have reasonable, articulable suspicion that criminal activity may be afoot. However, this doctrine is often misunderstood. Many, including Mr. Press, mistakenly believe that officers can only detain someone if they have definitive proof of a crime. In reality, the Supreme Court has made it clear in cases like Illinois versus Wardlow and United States versus Arvizu that officers can detain individuals to investigate unusual but lawful behavior if it suggests potential criminal activity.
What was the Raz? Reasonable, articulable
You're
suspicion.
looking at vehicles, possibly breaking into a vehicle.
Did you suspect me of breaking into a vehicle?
I did.
Yes.
I asked him what he suspected me of, and he said filming.
No, I seen you, and I called my sergeant.
And that's
See,
why I got
but
out.
that's what you need to articulate. You didn't do that until now. He was telling me that I was suspicious because I was filming around vehicles, but he doesn't get to detain me because I'm filming. I don't care how suspicious it looks. You will not get my name. I am not trespassing, and I will not leave. You know, if you guys have signs up that says this is a trespassed area, authorized personnel only, you got gates up, of course I can't come in.
Well, usually,
He's making up laws.
like I was saying, usually it is. We only allow police cars and people back here, but due to the front lobby, people do come, public citizens.
Right,
They do come back
which
here.
is why I'm here.
Yeah, I understand.
Try to be
What's
as
the
reserved as I
reason
can.
That you were like looking all in the car.
Okay. You told me that you have Raz that I was breaking and entering or potentially committing a crime. Therefore, I'm not answering any of your questions. Am I being detained by you?
No.
Okay. Probably a court's not going to care about a 5-minute detention, which is why there probably won't be anything from this unless you keep escalating.
I'm not escalating anything. You are.
You did.
Here's our lieutenant.
Fantastic.
What's going on, man?
Howdy.
How are you?
I was doing pretty good.
Okay.
Till I met the sergeant. These two folks are incredibly professional.
Good enough.
He hasn't escalated a single thing. She said she had Raz me breaking into a freaking car. She was very polite at first. Once he escalated, she jumped on the bandwagon. But generally, they've been good.
Okay.
He is a train wreck. How you just treated me was a train wreck. I should say that. I don't know you, Sergeant Marsh, so I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. All right?
Basically, I was told by Officer Delgado that he was actually looking at vehicles, possibly breaking into cars. That's why he's here.
He didn't tell me that. He didn't say that's his Raz. I said, you got Raz, detain me. And he said, you were filming, walking around cars. So,
Let's go and remove him from the situation, right?
okay. All right.
Okay, so moving forward, how can we do something for you here? You can
Allow me to
film
go
all
by
you want in
visit.
the back lot.
Thank
You know
you.
what I mean? If you need paperwork, tell me what you need. We'll
All
try
right.
to get it for you. They're going to close pretty soon.
Understood. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm good to go. I'm just here to quietly exercise my rights and not be impeded
Okay.
and not be detained. We good?
More power to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
As the interaction progressed, the tension escalated. Mr. Press challenged Sergeant Marsh's authority to detain him, arguing that filming in a public parking lot did not justify detention. He demanded to speak to a supervisor, which eventually led to the arrival of Lieutenant Becker. The lieutenant's approach marked a stark contrast to that of Sergeant Marsh. He calmly informed Mr. Press that he was free to continue filming in the parking lot, effectively defusing the situation and upholding Mr. Press's rights.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
Be safe.
Peace. Keep it up, bro.
The aftermath of this encounter leaves us with several key takeaways. First, While Sergeant Marsh acted professionally, his misunderstanding of the laws regarding trespassing and reasonable suspicion highlights a common issue in law enforcement: the misapplication of legal standards during public interactions. His actions, though likely well-intentioned, crossed the line into unwarranted detention, a mistake that could have been avoided with a better grasp of the legal nuances. Mr. Press, on the other hand, demonstrated a strong understanding of his rights and maintained a respectful demeanor throughout most of the interaction. However, his interpretation of the Terry Doctrine was flawed, revealing a gap in his knowledge that is shared by many within the First Amendment auditing community. The belief that one cannot be detained without concrete evidence of a crime is a misconception that needs to be addressed, as it contributes to unnecessary confrontations and confusion during such audits. Lieutenant Becker emerges as the hero of this narrative, earning praise for his professionalism and his commitment to upholding constitutional rights. His handling of the situation serves as a model for how law enforcement officers should approach similar encounters. By respecting Mr. Press's rights and resolving the issue without further escalation, Lieutenant Becker demonstrated that it is possible to balance public safety with the protection of individual freedoms. On September 6, 2023, a routine traffic stop in New Braunfels, Texas, escalated into an encounter that highlights ongoing concerns about police conduct, particularly regarding citizens' constitutional rights. The story centers around Brittany Trevino, who had a history with Officer Patrick Akers of the New Braunfels Police Department. Several years prior, Trevino had been forcefully detained by Akers under questionable circumstances. On this day, Trevino crossed paths with Officer Akers once again, and this time, she chose to express her feelings in a simple yet controversial way by raising her middle finger at him as she drove by. What happened next was captured on Officer Akers' body camera.
So this is that female, Trevino. She flicks me off as I'm going back to back of my patrol car, fails the single left hand to go into the left lane. She flicks me off, so I just wanted a second to make contact with her. How's it going? Officer Akers, New Braunfels Police Department. Okay.
I know who you are.
That's fine. Well, the reason why you being
over for flipping you off.
No, ma'am. The reason why
you are retaliating against me. You turned your sirens on and everything. Ran over here like a crazy person.
Okay. Well, ma'am, the reason why you're being contacted is you failed to signal lane change when you flicked me off.
Okay.
Okay. So go ahead and step out of the car. Step out of the car. I have 3 officers here.
He's hurt me before. Please don't let him.
Yeah. Would you mind, Henderson? Go ahead and detain her in cuffs.
No, because he's been illegal to me.
Okay. All right.
Trevino's gesture did not go unnoticed. Officer Akers quickly decided to initiate a traffic stop, claiming that Trevino had not only made an offensive gesture, but also failed to signal before changing lanes. He radioed in for backup and then pulled Trevino over. Trevino, aware of her rights and suspicious of Akers' motives, immediately accused him of retaliation. Akers, however, insisted that his reason for stopping her was her failure to signal. As the situation escalated, Trevino was ordered to step out of the vehicle and was subsequently handcuffed.
You're under arrest for failed to signal lane change.
I'm under arrest for failing to signal a lane change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm under arrest for failing to signal a lane change?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. You guys just know this is... You guys just know it is. You guys know it is. You're under arrest. Grab my phone.
To understand the gravity of this situation, we must delve into the legal framework surrounding Trevino's actions and the traffic stop. The Supreme Court, in the 1989 case of Texas versus Johnson, determined that the First Amendment protects not only spoken and written words, but also certain types of expressive conduct. This includes gestures, like giving someone the middle finger, which is generally considered protected speech. However, Texas law also has provisions under the Disorderly Conduct Statute, which prohibits making an offensive gesture in public that could incite immediate violence. But in a 2015 ruling by the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas in Brown v. Wilson, it was clarified that merely giving an officer the middle finger does not amount to fighting words, a term used for speech likely to provoke a violent reaction. As a result, it is highly unlikely that a court would find that Officer Akers had a valid reason to stop Trevino based solely on her gesture.
You want me to transport, or you think better?
Danny can do it.
Danny, would you mind just transporting? You don't have to do anything else other than transport. I'll be there. PD 2V6.
Guys.
Can you go ahead and give me next rotational record? That female is in my custody. I believe it's going to be Brittany Trevino.
Good question. We're in custody at 8:39.
Yeah, she has a driver's license, but
I'm gonna turn this off. No. Well, she comes down the street, comes right towards me. As I'm walking back by the car, didn't do nothing, she flicks me off. And then as she does that, she gets on the lane, fails the signal lane change. You think it's going to be an issue?
Given your history,
Yeah.
so any other person you would write a ticket to, right?
Yeah.
That's how you have to treat every interaction. You would normally write a ticket to this person for this, just because that in the past you've done this, this, and this, right? This is something that you would normally write a ticket for, then it's write a ticket for.
Yet, the body cam footage raises doubts about whether Trevino actually failed to signal. If she did signal, then Akers' justification for the stop would be nullified, making the detention potentially unlawful under both state and federal law. Despite this, Akers proceeded to arrest Trevino for the alleged traffic violation, a move that Texas law does permit for minor infractions, like failing to signal. In Trevino's case, Akers admitted to his supervisor, Sergeant Scott, that he would have issued a mere citation to anyone else for the same violation.
You want me to go ahead and police you?
Proceeding for the plate for Charles Paul 5990 for administrative Department Corridor Blue Post.
PD 35, cancel order. Take the handcuffs off. Alright, so let's write the ticket and go about it that way.
Sounds good.
All you're going to do is give her more ammo. Right?
Yep.
So write the ticket, just fill it out.
I didn't mind. Yeah, I did.
Brittany, come here. Can you go way by the back of the car, please?
This admission could potentially strengthen Trevino's case if she chooses to pursue a First Amendment retaliation claim. The situation took another turn when Sergeant Scott ordered Akers to release Trevino, arguing that he could not arrest her for an offense that would typically result in a citation. While this intervention spared Trevino from further legal trouble, Scott's subsequent actions were less commendable. After turning off his body camera, Scott lectured Trevino, blaming her for the situation and advising her to move on from her past experiences. This approach not only undermined her valid concerns, but also ignored the trauma she had just endured.
Alright. So, here, Brittany, this is going to be your citation. You're good to go. So I understand that you flicked the officer off. So my question was, did you flick the officer off?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? Had you just gone on about your day, right? Your intense hatred is causing you to do other things that is drawing attention to you. I'm not here to debate this situation with you. I watched the video. I know everything that occurred. Okay? I know about the court stuff, everything that occurred. If Officer Akers had done anything wrong, he wouldn't be here right now. Right? That's 100% true. You need to move on and not be running around flicking people off. Right? I get it. That's your First Amendment if you want to flip people off, but what it did is it caused you to create a hazard into a traffic infraction right in front of an officer. If you choose to be defined by what happened to you in the past, then you will always continue to be that person. Regardless of what y'all's history is, you need to move along with it. All right?
The events of September 6, 2023 highlight several critical issues in law enforcement practices. Officer Akers' actions raised serious questions about the use of police authority to retaliate against citizens exercising their First Amendment rights. Although the Supreme Court has upheld the constitutionality of pretextual traffic stops, this does not absolve law enforcement of the responsibility to act professionally and within the bounds of the law. Sergeant Scott, despite preventing Trevino's arrest, failed to protect her rights adequately. His victim-blaming response, and the fact that Akers faced no apparent consequences for his actions, reveal systemic issues within the department that need to be addressed. If you found this story compelling and want to see more analyses of police encounters and legal cases, make sure to subscribe and let us know in the comments what topics you'd like us to cover next.